taking back what's mine. You can't hold me down. I am the fire. Now's the time, and this is my fight. I am the fire. Got his padlock wrapped up.
Good evening, good morning, good day, whatever time of day it may be where you are when you are listening to this. My name is Dim Van Dam, and I've been asked to do a review and critique of the first episode of the weekly series of WOS Wrestling, the resurgence of the World of Sport product. Now, let's talk a little bit about the history first of all. World of Sport Wrestling in the UK had its final transmission in 1988, so this marks I suppose the 30th anniversary of the end of British wrestling on terrestrial British television. Now, to mark this event, it's back. British wrestling is back on terrestrial, non-cable, non-pay TV, which is excellent news for wrestling fans in the UK, and it is excellent news for the British wrestling scene in general. So let's talk about the show straight away. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Overall opinion, I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved the show, loved the presentation, loved the production, loved the color scheme, loved the replays, the replays that were shown during critical moves and moments of the match. Now, the first match, let's get straight into it, was a 5-way elimination number one contenders match for the WOS title, which is currently held by Grado, who was crowned the WOS champion during the pilot show, which proved to be very successful and popular, which, you know, over time, at the end of the day, led to this series that we have now, this weekly series on Sunday nights on ITV. So, yeah, Stu Bennett, who is formerly known as Wade Barrett of the WWE. So he is the authority figure on World of Sport Wrestling. He is the commissioner, if you will, and I love the way he played his role. He has a real sort of aura of authority about him. The wrestlers answer to him. He is perfect for the role. I think Stu Bennett is great in that role. So he plans a 5-way elimination number one contenders match. Now, I was familiar with most of the people in this match, but one guy that I saw for the first time was Justin Sizem. Justin Sizem went on to win the match, but in very controversial fashion. I was so impressed with Justin Sizem. I couldn't believe, I mean, I'm familiar with the British scene, and I can't believe that I've never seen this guy before. He is awesome. Sorry. He looks great. He executes, fluid, precise, crisp maneuvers, and he was active throughout the match. He wasn't taking rests on the outside for most of it. He was getting in there. He was doing, I think, most notably the 450 splash at the end, and he was declared the official winner of the match. However, Rampage, another participant in the 5-way elimination, was not actually eliminated, and referee Steve Linsky completely missed this. So even though officially Justin Sizem was declared the winner, Stu Bennett comes down and says, yes, Justin Sizem, you are in the match for later this evening for the WOS title. However, you won in controversial fashion. I'm going to add Rampage into the match. We're going to make this a 3-way dance. Rampage, Justin Sizem, Grado for the WOS title. Great match, lots going on. The one thing I didn't like is Crater, this awesome presence, this huge guy who I think is one of the guys that used to wrestle as the Pitbulls in the FWA about a decade ago. So anyway, Crater, this awesome guy, like doing these big power moves, double clotheslines, taking 2 or 3 people out at a time, gets disqualified because he wouldn't do a rope break in time. I thought personally there was no need for that. I wanted to see more out of Crater. I wanted to see him exert his power and just use his size even more. I wanted to see him squash people in this match, in the literal sense of the word, like sit on them and squash them. We didn't get to see much of Crater because he was eliminated via disqualification very quickly. Other than that, the match was great. Lots of action, lots of moves. There was power, there was flying, there was double teams, everything that you could possibly wish for and expect in a 5-way elimination match. Then there was a first round match for the tag team titles. So I'm assuming this is something we're going to see every week, a tournament match for the tag team titles leading up to a grand final. It was okay. I mean, essentially it was a really good match, but it got overshadowed by the other stuff that was on the show. Mainly the International Dream Match. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit about why I don't like the title of that, calling it an International Dream Match, but that's to say that I'm not taking anything away from the match itself, featuring British Bulldog Jr., formerly David Hart Smith of WWE, from the Resurgence of the Heart Foundation, when he was in with Tyson Kidd and Natalya Neidhart. So, British Bulldog Jr. against the indie internet Japan, you could even call him now, legend that is Will Ospreay, one of the greatest high flyers around today. And obviously the majority of fans know him from his series that he had with Ricochet in Japan. It created a lot of controversy, like it led to a match with Vader, which was a very unconventional gimmick match. But when I say this match stole the show, it stole the show. I mean, you just have to look at the reaction of the crowd that was present, just how they reacted to every move and every near fall in this match. No one expected it to not deliver, but just to the extent to which it did deliver, surprised even me. The match finished with an over-the-shoulder power slam from British Bulldog Jr. from the second rope, followed by a quick replay. I love the replays in this show, by the way. Each critical moment and maneuver was followed by a post-production replay, and I think it really added to the overall feel of the show. I was a big fan of the replays of key moments during the matches. Anyway, back to this match. This match had so many near falls, more than I or anyone was expecting. I think there were at least like 10 to 12 occasions where people were convinced this match was over. I mean, the maneuvers that they used would be considered in any other setting, any other promotion, prime time, big time finishing moves. But there was kick out after kick out after kick out, and it didn't become stale. I mean, each move was a progression. Each move was even more dangerous and more full of impact than the one prior, and these guys were still kicking out. Eventually, British Bulldog Jr. won with, like I said, the over-the-shoulder power slam from the second rope. No questions about it. This match stole the show. And then we get to the main event, the three-way dance for the WOS title. Grado. Let's talk about Grado a little bit. People love Grado. He is entertaining. People live vicariously through him. His story of getting to the big time is one that's admirable, and one that every wrestling fan who's ever had dreams or aspirations of being a wrestler can sympathize with. He did it all on his own. He promoted himself. He really tried. He really put in effort to get to where he was today. And I think that's one of the many reasons that people love Grado and people sympathize with the character of Grado. I mean, the other reason is he's just entertaining as hell, and he just draws you into his character. He makes you, when he's happy, the fans are happy. When he's been cheated, the fans feel cheated. Grado is just a great character. However, the fact that he lost the WOS title, I don't think is a bad thing. By the way, Rampage is your new WOS champion. He capitalized on a beautiful, I believe, 450 splash by Justin Sizem. And then he plants Grado with an implant DDT. 1, 2, 3. Rampage is your new WOS champion. I don't think it's a bad thing. I do not think Grado losing the title is a bad thing. Yeah, it's upsetting in the short run because, I mean, Grado is one of the most popular characters on the product, on the show at the moment. But I think we can only go forward from here with Rampage as a heel champion. Now, how many people, how many promoters, former managers, former wrestlers have said the money is in the chase? The fact that Grado lost, that's not the end of Grado. I think we all know that. The money is in the chase. The ratings are in the chase. So, yeah, he's fallen off the top of the cliff. He wants to get back up there. He wants to get that title. And that's the story that I think is going to be told from now on. Justin Sizem was impressive as well. I mean, I'd love to see a one-on-one match with no shenanigans, no outside interference, no triple threat rules between those two, Rampage and Justin Sizem. But I think Grado and Rampage for the WOS title, we will see that match again. Maybe not next week, maybe not in 2 weeks, but in the near future, definitely. So, look, what more can we say about WOS wrestling? I mean, we can critique it subjectively. We can pinpoint the good and the bad. But I'm just going to tell you how it made me feel as a fan. It made me feel nostalgic. It made me feel entertained. It made me feel excited. It made me feel amazed. It made me feel like a kid again. There was a certain feel, there was a certain magic and a certain nostalgia about this show that gave me a very warm and very pleasant feeling when I was watching this show. It reminded me a little bit about the local independent shows, namely All-Star shows that I used to go to in Croydon when I was a kid. Just the atmosphere, the family-friendly atmosphere, and how I used to feel as a child going to those shows. It also reminded me a little bit about Gladiators, when I used to watch Gladiators on ITV in the mid-90s. I don't know, something about the presentation, something about the lighting reminded me of classic sort of ITV weekend feel, family entertainment. I hope to God that WOS continues getting adequate or high ratings. I hope their popularity grows. I hope this season is popular that leads to a second season. I've already congratulated him personally, but I want to congratulate Alex Shane again for, the effort that he's put into this project, the work he's done, the amount of time it took to get here. Alex Shane, enjoy the fruits of your labor now. You deserve it. Well done to everyone involved. Well done to the participants, the wrestlers. Well done to Stu Bennett for just being awesome in the role that he played. And, it may sound like bias, but the fact of the matter is, I've told you that the nitpicky things that I didn't like about the show. And if there were more of them, I'd have no problem telling you. But the fact of the matter is, this is my honest opinion. The show is worth watching. The show makes you feel good when you watch it. And it's not just the storylines. It's not just the in-ring product. It's not just the production. It's not just the action replays. It's everything. Everything put together makes this a unique show. It's not like anything else. It is unique. It's its own animal, and I truly believe that it's all uphill from here for WOS World of Sport Wrestling. Fantastic stuff. Can't wait till next Sunday. Thank you very much. This has been Dim Van Dam signing off. Follow me at The Real Dim. Check out my YouTube channel, Dim Van Dam. Some nonsense to do with wrestling. Enjoy yourselves and enjoy WOS Wrestling.